Child, is Courtney and Nick about to become the franchise's most boringest couple? Is Sean ever going to stop being fresh with Nikki? Is Cam about to rethink the marriage once Michelle starts getting into, her fertility struggles? Are Felipe and Tori going to still be on cloud nine, or is the honeymoon going to start showing some cracks in their relationship? And child, is Adam and Marissa going to pretend they ain't do nothing on wedding night? Well, we about to see, child. Listen, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here and taking the time, because you could be anywhere. You could be doing anything, but you guys are really taking the time to check me out, and I couldn't be more grateful. So, let's get into it. Spoiler alert. They dropped episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Married at First Sight season 20, and right now we're going to be talking about episode number 4. So, everybody's going to meet for the first time. The men going to be spilling tea. The women going to be spilling tea. We're going to see them go, on excursions on their honeymoon. We're going to see the arguments, We're going to see who grows closer together and who grows further apart. But one thing that we did first notice, okay, is that Peacock is playing no games standing apart from what Lifetime was doing. Peacock didn't show us them going to have breakfast with each other's families the morning after. They didn't show us the couples finding out where they were going on their honeymoon. We didn't even see the plane ride to the airport, the shuttle ride to the resort. We saw none of that. Okay, we saw it was a little small pillow talk between a few of the couples, a little light packing, and 10 minutes later we blink, child, we see a plane flying across the sky, and they in Mexico. And not in Mexico, just look, Mr. and Mrs. Hatch just checking in, child, they on dates. They on excursions. Peacock is getting to the drama. It's not a game, okay? They said, y'all know how vacations work. But again, before we head to Mexico, they do show us, a few couples waking up. The next morning, we see Cam and Michelle. They look comfortable. They still seem genuinely happy with their match, and they seem to be enjoying each other's company really well. So they're off to a great start. Marissa and Adam. Marissa acting like absolutely nothing happened, but we know better. They not fooling nobody, okay? One thing that stuck out to me with them in that moment was he asked her something about what her ideal day was, and she said 3-hour nap. Sis don't know, he got a whole program built for her when they get back home. So it ain't. She better get all the naps she can on this honeymoon. You hear me? We got Sean and Nikki. Sean starts his days off with meditation. So we see him coming in from meditation, bringing her Starbucks. That's a really sweet moment. He did admit that he was coming on a little strong the night before with the whole 69 thing, like trying to act like, no, I was just joking. I don't like guys like that. I'm gonna just say that, they say something provocative, see if they can get a rise out of you, see if they can see what kind of reaction they get, and when they get the slight mild rejection, like no thank you, they want to try to play wounded and stuff. But listen, let me not project. We got Courtney and Nick say they both slept well. And they're gonna have us sleep the rest of the damn season. No, I'm joking. But they're comfortable. They're not cuddled up, but they're comfortable. Somehow Nick took his shirt off in the middle of the night, so they have a little kiki over that. But he also loses a battle with the espresso machine, and you kind of see her get turned off because later on he also was not able to, or did, I don't think he knew it was a screw top, but she was turned off either way. Like, this nigga don't know how to do nothing, you know. So you kind of, I think part of that is the reason that it doesn't seem like she's even giving him a chance, in my opinion. Like, it's just like, I'm bored, I hate it here. So Felipe and Tori, they're still wrapped up in their honeymoon bliss, child. And I've been seeing what y'all been saying online about Felipe. So we gonna get to that in just a second. They doing their little light pillow talk. They're both talking about how impressed they are with the matchmakers. Mecca and Belle Jolie, big friend vibes. Big friend vibes. It's giving best friends. They're sitting on opposite sides of the couch, separated by a pillow, but still, you know, yes, everything went well. Yes, I feel good. Do you? Yeah, Mecca's like, you know, how's everything? She's like, oh yeah, you know, everything's good. But she in the confessional telling us, you know, otherwise. She admits that, you know, they still haven't had any type of physical intimacy. But to him, she's agreeing, yes, we're good. We're good. No, you're not, sis. So eventually we do see her come out of that in a very ladylike way. So in that moment, she's like, hey, let's go pick out our matching honeymoon outfit. So still, this is before they go to Mexico. So see Devin and Caitlin, they are holding hands in that moment. We see them kind of like a little bit snuggled up on the couch, holding hands. They're kind of intertwined into each other. They look comfortable together. But she does admit that Devin is more affectionate than she is. She's more of a slow burner, which he admits too. So I guess we're gonna see a slow burn with him. He doesn't seem frustrated or anything. Listen, it hasn't even been 48 hours. So, listen, next we have them going to Mexico. Like I said, that little plane flew across the sky, and then we kind of get them at the pool. We get them on dates. We get them on excursions. We get them on the beach. So ultimately, at the end of this episode, everyone meets each other, but they all have, you know, a couple of days to themselves as married couples, like I said, to go on excursions, chill at the pool, chill in the room all day, do whatever they want to do. So let's start getting into that and dive deeper into the episode. So we're going to go back to Felipe and Tori. They have lunch, and everything that I was hoping for them went out the window. Because I'm like, I want to believe Felipe. I feel like, you know, once he becomes a husband, you know, he going to do what he said he going to do. All the partying and stop. I'm just going to manage this restaurant, or these restaurants. Because we find out that he also has a bar and a speakeasy in Seattle or something like that. All I start seeing from this moment from Felipe in this episode are red flags. The first thing he tells her is, she starts talking about, you know, her spirituality and the fact that she's a Christian. She is a praying woman, you know. Her and God have a relationship. And he was just like, oh yeah, you know, I grew up Catholic. My family still, you know, believes in God. But me, I'm an atheist. Yeah, so that happens. So she gets into asking him about his thoughts about baptism, and they get into, you know, hey, he's like, hey, I know you've been cheated on. Like it's just kind of, they just kind of breeze past it and get into infidelity in relationships, the fact that, you know, she's been cheated on before, and the fact that, hey, you know, I found out that I cheated on, you know, a girl that I was with long term. I didn't even know. I found out after we broke. Felipe. So yeah, so she's more concerned about him not cheating on her than her and the souls of her and her children. Like, baby, just say you won't cheat. I don't care if you don't believe in God. Look, I got us covered. So that's where they at. it's even a moment that she gets into specifics about how her ex cheated on her, and how she had the key to his apartment. She dropped him off to the airport. The side chick reached out to her. They ended up meeting for drinks or child. At this point, both of y'all are red flags. So I'm just whatever they got going on is just a little bubble at the top. So we gonna start seeing that. We gonna start seeing that pot overflow. I already know with these two. Like, it's not. Listen, first of all, they unequally yoked. Now I'm imperfect, but I'm a Christian as well, and I just can't imagine. They didn't go over that. Anyway, child, we get to Marissa and Adam, and listen, Marissa and Adam is they are tearing this chicken. I want some chicken. They are tearing this chicken up. Do you hear me? The way they eating the chicken, it made me want to go get my crystal and just put me in the sand on the beach next to y'all, because I want to bite. One of the first things that I noticed is Marissa has officially made herself Adam's taste tester. And my whole thing in that moment is, baby, they bought him coffee, baby. You don't got to test it. Ain't no... Now, I see if it was, a virgin drink or something, but it's coffee. Marissa, relax. But, she going to be testing a lot more to them drinks. She just don't know. He going to be giving her quizzes and tests. Like, listen, we got to make sure you have these jet skis down. We got to make sure that we beating everybody on the block in pickleball. You feel me? So, Marissa just don't know. But everything's all cute and everything with them, for now. They start joking about, this is how we also know that something happened on wedding night. She starts joking about, oh, you can't pick me up. He like, girl, I'll toss you around. Excuse me. Just like I was tossing you around last night. And she giggling, he giggling. And then you see them just standing on the beach. He's standing up, she's straddling them. Definitely we had sex energy. Next we got Cam and Michelle. Now, Michelle and Cam, they just chilling on the honeymoon. They are, I feel they are the most chill couple, and they are one of the ones who had me the most nervous. With the fibroid and infertility issue, and me seeing how Cam was going to take that, with the preview showing him saying that he just wanted to run or jump the gun or something like that, with him saying that he's never been, how picky he is, and he's never really been in a relationship longer than 6 months. But they seem to be having the hard conversations early. They seem to be having a good time. And one thing is, he said he's not good with confrontation. So whenever they do have a disagreement or whatever, I am curious to see how he handles that. But for now, they seem to be having very, very healthy conversations. For instance, she thought that it was a good time for her to bring up the fertility issue. Listen, in my 20s, they found fibroids. I had to have surgery. I do want a family. I am going to end up having to have surgery again. She didn't say anything about freezing her eggs, but I remember her saying that, like, them showing her say that in the interview process. And he pretty much says that, hey, I want a family too. And listen, my sister's adopted, which we saw. I remember I said that she doesn't look like any of them. So, I'm not above adopting. So I really like the conversation, because they both ended it saying that they're both willing to grow their family in an unorthodox way if they need to. So then we get to Belle, Jolie, and Mecca. Belle is still yesing everything Mecca's saying. We good? Yeah, we solid. We solid? Yeah, we good. Everything good. But she's still in a confessional complaining about the lack of intimacy. But finally we do... hold on. I gotta give her a shout out too, because she is wearing them bikinis and, pool fits, honey. Girl, you doing it. So shout out to you, Belle Jolie. But finally, like I was saying, they do go on a yacht excursion. The reason that I thought about her pool outfits is because they both got green on, and they look good in their green, child. Speaking of green, child, listen, Belle Jolie did everything that that she could to give him the green light. Like, listen, if you want to touch me, you could touch me. If you want to, if you want to kiss on me, kiss on me. I'm your wife. Okay, listen. Listen, we could do however you. Well, she didn't say all that, and she was, like I said, she was a lady about it. But she pretty much gave him the green light. We too friendly. What at what point do you think we're gonna start questioning, like forgetting, like, hey, oh yeah, we are married. This shit's too friendly now. Mecca, make a move. um. So, we're going to see, but it does seem like later on in this episode, because listen, I don't watch 4, 5, and 6. Y'all already know. So we're going to get to 5 and 6, but we're just talking about 4 right now. But it does show a moment where they have a diary cam moment. He's real flirty with her, talking about, how I'm going to concentrate, with this walking around, whatever. So, excuse me, that's a real cute moment with them. So maybe he is getting it, because in that moment when they was talking on the yacht, he was just sitting there listening to her talk, child. Like, are you going to respond, say anything? Sitting there nodding and smiling, just nodding and smiling. Okay, yeah, I got you. Kiss you something, touch you. Okay, yes. So we'll see. But like I said, and later on in that diary cam moment, he's being flirty, talking about how good she looks, walking around, helping him with his clothes, whatever. We see Devin and Caitlin. Child, they looking good. They strut out, going out to dinner, to a fancy restaurant. They kind of start getting into their family life. Caitlin says she's a lot like her dad, and that scares me because the dad was ignorant as fuck at the wedding. He did loosen up, toward the end of the reception and stuff, but he was rude. So, we gonna see. But she says she's a lot like him, but they don't get along. But that's probably because they so much alike. So, we'll see. But she also says that her parents, her mom and dad, they argued in a very healthy way. They were always able to come back together with some sort of resolution later on. The kids, they were never scared. It was a very healthy environment, and they were able to work through and process whatever issues they had, to be a good example, for their children, to the point that she's sitting there talking to the husband that she just met, saying, hey, I know how to argue. But she seems to me like a more person who shut down. So we're gonna see with her. He also said that he got his good communication habits from his mom. So they're the youngest couple, so 26 and 27. But look, the oldest couple, 46 and 47, all them cats do is argue. So we gonna see, but we gonna get to them next. Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention, because she gonna say it a million times in this episode. Black cat energy, golden retriever energy, child. She's the black cat, and he's supposedly the golden retriever, which he's like, yeah, I can see that. I give golden retriever energy. They do end up going on an excursion as well, and they pretty much, both of them are very specific in saying how certain past relationships work for them and why. His was the ones who wanted to spend that quality time. That's what worked for me. Hers was the guy who gave me all the space in the world. That's what worked for me. Neither one, it didn't click to either one of them though. So we're going to see them struggle with that. I think Devin makes a couple of selfish, what about me, how I'm feeling, what I need, instead of kind of thinking about her needs. But in the episode, she has nothing but good things to say about him. So it doesn't seem like he's pressuring her. Until toward the end, I kind of feel like it seemed like they have a moment where before they went out to dinner, he tells her, hey, wake me up when you go to the gym. She gets up, goes to the gym without him. He feels some kind of way. But at the same time, he heard the alarm go off because he admits that later in the episode. So if you heard the alarm go off and she said she saw him pop his head up and popped your head up, maybe he needed her to give him a little more push. I don't know. Maybe he wanted her to give him a little more push, but he seems to be more focused on getting what he needs versus let's kind of fight this together. So hopefully he stops seeing it being more of her standoffish and needing her, her time, and, how can I make this work for us? I'm going to give her time, but when it's us time, I'm going to maximize the us time. At the same time, she needs to, loosen up a little bit, baby girl. You talking about this is what you asked for. Everybody in your family saying this is the kind of man you need, and you can't even look this man in the eye. So they're going to get on my nerves a little bit. Like I said, next we got Sean and Nikki. Now, Sean and Nikki, they in Mexico, they looking like they have a ball. Nikki, matter of fact, they get off the plane, get to the resort, and she like, I got a fresh win. I ain't even tired no more. We see them end up at the pool. They have a little flirty moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's cute too. They just seem to be enjoying each other's company. So that was very encouraging for me because, like I said, if they don't do nothing else, they gonna argue. But like I said, at this point, everything is still light, playful, flirty. She's asking him, what did you see when you first saw me? He's asking her the same. And like her answer was a little bit crazy. She was trying to tease it a little bit, but it was very, very underwhelming to him. I don't know in how many ways, like she's gonna have to tap that shit out in Morse code. Nigga, I don't find you physically attractive. Spoiler alert to the spoiler alert. Eventually we're going to see her say that, but like he really he's not getting it. Which I don't understand why he's not getting it, but he's not getting it. So he's telling her, I thought that you had a pretty smile, your eyes were bright. She's saying, I turned that corner and it was just a gorgeous. And he looking like, yes, baby, say that it's me. Say that I'm the gorgeous one. And she's like, I seen your family on the left, my family on the right. And he was like, bitch, you got me sitting here thinking you about to say, you seen this gorgeous husband at the end of the aisle. She like, chill, chill. I ain't even, let me get to that. Child, she ends up getting to him and was like, and then I saw you and I was like, oh, he's so confident. Now, Nikki. Girl, I was dying. So after that, things kind of turned serious with them, which was kind of annoying to me. He's kind of like, not this part, but he's like, the old Sean, would do this or do that. And, he goes into, and she's talking and like, yeah, I feel you. And he's like, well, tell me how, how have you grown, as a person? And she's explaining, she kind of gives an example, like, in previous relationships, maybe that person was a messy person. I'm more orderly. I like things in order and clean. And I would be judgy of the person who, my significant other whose cleaning habits weren't as good as mine. So I thought. So I'm immediately judging them where, as later on I started thinking like, don't be so judgy and, whatever. So she's given an example. I think it was specific enough. She didn't have to give, her old nigga's social security number, favorite color, zodiac sign, but she, she's, saying her little spiel or whatever, or, and he's like, well, okay, so blah, 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 blah. Answers the question again, like she wasn't giving him what he needed. He's like, people say they grown, but they don't have, they normally don't have a practical example showing how they grown. And I'm sitting there like, Sean, she just was giving you an example, homie. Like, you're bugging. Like, what are you talking about? And finally she's like, now it's starting to be a turnoff. Like, you making this whole thing like it's an interview, like this becoming real academic right now. You know what I'm saying? And she was right. If they ain't gonna do nothing else, again, they gonna argue. I feel like he baited her into the argument. She answered his questions. It might not have been the question, the answer that he wanted or as specific as he wanted, because he said she was very vague. But I think he just kept pushing it until they ended up debating instead of enjoying their fun, flirty, chill time on vacation in Mexico. Like, you got this woman happy. Like, relax. Like, why make every conversation end up in a debate? I think it might be the night of or like the afternoon of, so everybody's just kind of relaxing and chilling. We see Adam and Marissa with a smorgasbord of tapas in their bed. Listen, Marissa, he's spoiling you, girl. It's not gonna be like that at home. You're gonna have to get with the program at home. It's gonna be all jet skis and pickleball, Marissa. So get ready, and all you have officiated yourself the alcohol taster for him, Marissa. So enjoy. We see Courtney and Nick. Courtney is bored as fuck. Okay, Courtney is sick of Nick. Courtney says she feel like she quarantining and not with the one she want or love. Okay, they show Courtney and Nick standing on the beach like, damn, we should have bought the Uno cards. Nick like, oh, let's jump and see, who could jump the higher. She looking up at him like. He's like, oh, let's run and jump in the ocean. She's like, not with these extensions. They didn't go on no excursions. They just went and stood on the beach and looked stupid. And then they finally settled at the pool. And they having small talk. They talking about their childhood. They talking about, stuff that made them who they were. She's smiling. She's seemingly engaged to me in the conversation that they're having. But in her confessional, she's saying she's still bored. And poor Nick, he just think they cool. One thing that I did see, though, it seems like they have different energy levels. Like, Nick seems pretty low energy. Like, I'm a low energy person, so I feel him. But, like, I don't know. Like, do something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And another thing, I still think that she's turned off by him not being able to work that damn espresso machine or open that damn twist top. So I think like everything is just now just like going above her. Like, I don't care. Give me another nigga. So finally we get to the group mixer. Everybody starts arriving. It's hugs all around. Everybody introducing themselves, introducing their significant others. You could tell they're excited to meet each other. They're teasing Felipe and Tori. Because, everybody was worried about Felipe. Felipe even told that was another red flag. Everybody worried about me. So even after all the guys met him, that he was the one that everybody's worried about, Tori. It's a reason. He glowing, she glowing, they still in marital bliss. He even confided in the guy, she looked like my celebrity crush, Dua Lipa. I don't know, y'all tell me. So, he ain't been able to stop smiling since the wedding. And like I said, they was teasing him like, Tori, this the quietest we ever seen him. You know what I'm saying? But, they skip around a little bit here. You see a lot of the women in the corner or the women at the table talking and, going through their stuff. You kind of see the men kind of off to the corner, talking about their stuff. You see Caitlyn telling everybody she can about the black cat and golden retriever energy. But she really playing bull. She talking about he's like a golden retriever on Ritalin. So you playing this man in front of everybody. Not cool, Caitlyn. But then when she does get off with the women, she talks about how nice and kind and respectful she is, and the fact that she can't even look them in the eye. So hopefully she get over that. At the same time, it does kind of seem like he hasn't let the whole gym situation go. Like, he talking to her about that behind the scenes, because she's just about as sick as Courtney is of Nick. It seems like Caitlyn is sick of Devin. Um, Courtney and Felipe do end up talking, and look, they joking around, talking. They having real easy banter. Courtney talking about, oh, yeah, you got an Italian restaurant. I can't even eat pasta. Well, we got food. We got pasta for celiacs. You know, oh, and he casually thrown in, oh yeah, I got a bar and a speakeasy, too. And she in her confessional like, now this was what I wanted. Hello. um she, my whole thoughts on that was, she is pretty much admitting this is the banter that she's craving with Nick, but she sees him, I think she sees him as, okay, this is a guy that has been on a million reality shows. He can't even freaking open a bottle. He don't even know how to work a coffee machine. Still, in my opinion, she being too damn hard on Nick. Nick seems like a good guy, a nice guy. He seems to be agreeable with anything that she wants to do. So I think she more wants somebody to lead and that's going to joke with her and be quick-witted with her. And Nick is just giving that very, very laid back, very, very low energy. So he got to step his effort up. The girls start talking about sex. Who's having sex? Who's not? Michelle makes it known, hey, I'm very old fashioned. We chilling over here. But like I said, Michelle and her husband seem to be doing fine. Tori also says that her and Felipe are taking things slow. And the guys basically have the same conversation. Everybody immediately starts teasing Adam because they know what's up with Adam. And he's like, I ain't gonna kiss and tell. No, we know y'all smash. Like, ain't nobody blind. They definitely giving, like I said, we had sex. And I would say after these talks and stuff, a couple people, several people you kind of see say. Devin, you see say it. I think Nick says it. I think Courtney says it, of how relieved they are after talking with, the other wives and the other husbands, that everybody's still just kind of figuring it out. So they're kind of reassured that, it's pretty much Adam and Marissa the only ones who smashing. The marriage isn't behind us. It's we a few days in. But Adam, not Adam, Devin, he was one of the ones who said that too. Like, hey, I kind of feel reassured, we're not moving too slow. We're not moving in the wrong direction. But he's still making it about his needs. But I need him to, make it about, make it about their needs. So that confused me a little bit, because if you feel reassured, then why does the conversation, go back to, your needs and what you want? Mecca and Belle Jolie, you kind of see a parallel of him telling the guys and her telling the girls about, they ended up sharing a passionate kiss. Belle Jolie is like, it was a 10 out of 10. She's all energetic talking about it, but the way they edited it, it almost felt like production was showing us that the kiss meant a lot more to Belle Jolie than it did to Mecca. And we're going to get to that in these upcoming episodes. He just looked very indifferent. Like, yeah, we kissed. You feel me? Don't y'all play in a black woman's face. Okay? They had a conflict check-in. Devin pretty much tells the guys that Caitlyn seems standoffish, and he's trying not to overthink it. So again, we kind of see him exhausting us with what he needs. But then she's exhausting me with this black cat shit too. Oh, he's very, very kind, but I'm a black cat and this and that. So both of them are still adjusting. I hope they get adjusted. She said he's patient, kind, respectful. So hopefully by next episode, she's maintaining eye contact with him. Girl, this is what you asked for. All of y'all signed up to marry a stranger. So it always surprises me every year when people sign up to marry a stranger and then get on the honeymoon and want to be all shy. I ain't saying y'all got to be having sex. I ain't saying, y'all even got to be touching a lot or super and kissing every 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But act like you want to be married. Act like you signed up to be on Married at First Sight. It's not married at, your convenience. You know what I'm saying? Sean finally, Sean gets into explaining incident between him and Nikki. Not the one that I talked about when they was at the pool, child. Like I said, if they ain't doing nothing else, Sean and Nikki is arguing. They got to arguing on the damn diary cam. They had a conversation outside of the cameras where, she was like, hey, I think I want to wait until the end. I don't want to get physical. I don't want any sexual intimacy. I want to wait and see, if we're going to be married and if we're going to remain married at the end of this. And he was like, oh, okay. But I guess they hadn't said, okay, this is definitely what we're going to do. So by the time they got on diary cam, she was like, hey, guys, we decided that. So that's how he explains it to the guys. Like, she didn't even consult with me. But it showed them meeting up and talking about it earlier, which I didn't talk about in this recap yet. But it did show them getting together and talking about it. They have a communication problem. He's too smart for his own good. He always tries to outsmart and out-talk, and it's gone around in circles. They both cut each other off. They could both stand some lessons in, communication, as we all should. Listen, I'm not coming on here as a perfect person. I'm just talking about the damn show, and I'm glad y'all here listening to me. So thank y'all again. But yeah, that ended up being a big thing. You see him kind of telling his side of the story. At the end of the day, him and Nikki, because he made it a thing, like, and then she, I kind of felt some kind of way in that moment when she announced it on the diary cam, because we hadn't, 1000% decided that this is concretely what we're going to do. She just kind of said, oh, this is what we're going to do, even though we only had just discussed it. So I don't want it to be, we making decisions on homes. We making these big decisions without each other. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, in my eyes, he felt rejected. So he kind of had a little tantrum. And she said to him earlier, kind of when you have disagreements and when you don't get your way, when you get mad at people, you get really, really nasty. And I think both of them have unhealthy defense mechanisms, and that does not mix well with bad communication and with not wanting to hear each other out. With the lack of respect when having a disagreement. So I don't know, but they always somehow find a way to make up and be giving each other pecks. So we gonna see. Everything, like I said, everything does calm down. They do end up making up, and that's pretty refreshing. So pretty much Courtney, and just like everybody, is saying, well, not just like everybody, but Courtney, although she said it's a breath of fresh air to see everybody still trying to figure their marriages out too, she's still, guess what, bored. Still bored, still not giving this guy a chance. She basically saying she basically did that gesture. So, child, like, it can't be that bad. You are in Mexico on a honeymoon. Make the best of it. Nick's confessional is more optimistic. He has no clue she's bored. Poor Nick. He like everybody else, he's feeling reassured. He's realizing that every couple has awkward moments, every couple has conflicts, and nobody has a perfect marriage. So he seemed like he feel like everything is cool. We do see, I'm gonna call them Mrs. and Mrs. Damn Miserable, Courtney and Caitlyn. After the separate women, separate men talks. Courtney and Caitlyn take their two little bodies and go have their own little talk child so they could rip on their husbands. They both seem miserable. Just listening to them talk, it's almost like they can't stand being around their husbands, which is wild because everything that both of them have said about these men, Courtney about Nick, Caitlyn about Devin, has been they're kind, they're respectful, they're patient, they're good communicators, they're saying all the right things, but somehow these women are still unhappy. Help me understand this because this is what y'all asked for from the experts. Y'all asked for kind men, respectful men, emotionally available men. Y'all wanted men who actually wanted to spend time with y'all. Y'all wanted to say, that y'all had someone that y'all had chemistry with. And ain't nobody saying that y'all gotta force it. Ain't nobody saying you gotta sleep with these men. But at some point, let the marriages breathe. Enjoy the honeymoon. You signed up. Again, all y'all signed up for marriage at first sight. Not marriage at first slight inconvenience. Give them a chance. Stop shutting every door before the damn relationship even has room to grow. Alright, so that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think that Courtney and Caitlyn are really going to get over, their being miserable and give these marriages a fair shot? Or have they already checked out emotionally? Is Caitlyn ever going to let her guard down with Devin? Is Courtney eventually going to see something in Nick, or is she just too bored to get there? And does Adam have foot fungus? Spoiler alert, he doesn't. He doesn't have foot fungus. This cat just wear pool socks. We're going to get to that. Next episode. Please keep watching me. I so appreciate that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who's y'all favorite couple? Who y'all worrying about the most? Who I'm worrying about the most, honestly, is Felipe. He's just gonna be. He seemed like he partied hard. Y'all see him at the whole episode. It was just moments where he was just a little more sweaty and a little more flushed than everybody else. So he seemed to like the party. But y'all tell me what y'all think. If you enjoyed this recap, please watch another one. Subscribe to me. Share me with people. Like it. Comment on it. Don't be shy. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time. All right. Peace.